Over the last decade, the Boston Bruins have been known as being one of the elite clubs in the NHL, but I think that may be coming to an end soon. As the years have progressed, their core has been getting older and older, and a lot of them have been forced to retire. A couple years back, we saw Captain Zdeno Chara retire, and then earlier this summer, we saw Patrice Bergeron retire, and then today, David Krejci retired. Losing Bergeron and Krejci really hurts the team a lot. It really weakens their center depth, and it's not looking good for the Bruins. Last year, they set the record for the most wins in the regular season, but this year, I don't think they're going to come anywhere close to that. Most of their subtractions have been very, very monumental in size, and I think it's really going to hurt them in the long run. In this video, I'm going to tell you my thoughts on everything that the Bruins have done in the offseason so far, but I want to know your thoughts too, so make sure you leave a like and leave a comment below telling me what you think the Bruins are going to be like next year. Losing Bergeron really hurts. He's been with the team since he was drafted by them in 2003, and has been there a long time, and was recently made captain once Chara left. Over Bergeron's tenure with the Bruins, he put up a bunch of points, goals, personal awards, and won Stanley Cup. Losing his leadership and pedigree is really going to hurt the team in the long run, especially as new players are going to have to enter into the lineup due to a lot of the losses that they've had this offseason. Over the course of his career, he won 6 Selke trophies, and that's no small feat by any means. A lot of people want the trophy to be renamed after him, that's how good he was. Losing David Krejci is going to hurt a lot too. Sure, he only just came back this last offseason from playing overseas, but he still made a big impact last season. Without him, the center depth on the Bruins are going to be a lot more weaker than it should be. We'll go over the center depth later though. Heading into this offseason, the Bruins didn't have much cap space, so they made a couple moves to try and clear cap space so they could sign some of their free agents. First off, they bought out Mike Riley's contract. Even though he wasn't a bad defenseman, his contract was overpaying him. Another big move that they did was trading Taylor Hall to the Chicago Blackhawks. Last offseason, they locked Taylor Hall up to his contract, and then this offseason they had to unload him because of contract woes, and then things got even worse for the Bruins once free agency actually started. At the trade deadline last year, the Bruins went out and got 2 of the biggest fish in Tyler Bertuzzi and Dmitri Orlov. In buying out Mike Riley and trading Taylor Hall, they were hoping to sign Tyler Bertuzzi to a new contract, but that didn't happen at all. Instead, they lost him, and then they also lost Dmitri Orlov, which really hurts as well because he was a great add on their blue line. On top of losing Tyler Bertuzzi and Dmitri Orlov, they also missed Taylor Hall, Mike Riley, Garnet Hathaway, Connor Carrick, Patrice Bergeron, David Krejci, Thomas Nosek, Anton Strawman, Connor Clifton, and Chris Wagner. I'm sorry, but if you're losing all those players in one offseason, you're not going to go out of the offseason looking any better, because those are some good players on there. Losing the first 3 people on this list really hurts the team a lot. Taylor Hall might not be the MVP player anymore, but he's still a great addition for the Blackhawks, and the Bruins are going to miss him a lot. The issue with what the Bruins did, though, is that they cleared a lot of cap space without having any contracts predetermined before then, so then they were left guessing whenever free agency actually started. And because of this, the free agency pool for them was a lot shallower than it should have been because they were waiting to see what Bertuzzi was going to do because he didn't initially sign on the first day. Because of that, the replacements that they got made them worse than where they were at the end of the season whenever they got knocked out of the playoffs by the Florida Panthers. The issue especially is that they got very weak on forward because of the players that they lost. Morgan Geekie was brought in, Trent Frederick was re-signed, goalie Jeremy Swayman was re-signed to a great contract, Jesper Boquist was brought in, Kevin Shattenkirk, Milan Lucic, Patrick Brown, and James Van Riemsdyk were all signed. Cases like James Van Riemsdyk, Milan Lucic, and Kevin Shattenkirk, they were once good players, but now they're aging and their bodies aren't holding up as good as they should be. They still can be useful, but they're going to be nowhere near what they once used to be. Morgan Geekie's young, but at most he'll probably be the 4th line center for the team. Maybe he'll get 3rd line minutes, but he shouldn't be relied upon in the top 6. Jeremy Swayman got signed to a steal of a contract through arbitration, but the only issue with that is that it's more likely a bridge deal, because at the end of that contract, if he keeps progressing the way that he's been playing, he's going to need a big payday. None of the players on this list are anywhere near the caliber of the players that they lost, and that's going to be a big issue for the Bruins. They might still have the reigning Vezina winner in Linus Ullmark, and likes of Charlie McAvoy and other great players like Pastrnak and Marchand, but the issue is that good players can only do so much when the team around them isn't great. A good example of this is the Pittsburgh Penguins. Their stars performed elitely, but the team around them could not keep up the rest of the slack that the stars couldn't produce. Personally, I think this offseason really seals the fate of the Boston Bruins. We've known a rebuild's been coming, but I think the window just got slammed shut. The main issue is that if the team does go sour and they're not good anymore after last season, what do you do with the remaining stars? You got likes of McAvoy, Marchand, and Posto that will be aged out of the group whenever the rebuild will be over. More than likely, those players will have to be traded because they'll get a big return for them, but who knows how this season will go. It's just all about that first puck drop. Let me know how you think the Bruins are going to do in the comments below. I'm really interested to hear. Make sure you like and subscribe as well. I'm making content for every NHL fan base, so there's going to be something for everyone. Thanks for watching. Leave other topics in the comments below for me to cover.